Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We are Homesteading Outlaws, and we are taking you on our tour of the property a little bit right now, actually. Showing you our chores for the day. This is the evening edition. So we're doing our evening chores, and we'll show you some things that we had to do and give you some tips for surviving and dealing with the cold weather. It's cold. Yes.
We're in trouble with you.
They're waiting patiently at their buckets. They know which one belongs to each other.
This too fast for spray for getting the cans out. I'm bringing them over.
They're really bad about moving their buckets around.
They are.
And I think it's when they're licking the bottom, trying to get that last little bit, you know.
It's so snowy, I'm not going to right now. But I typically go in there. This is where Gloria's can. Typically. Sometimes we'll switch.
At least we got in trouble to the point where she eats out of her own pan now.
Yeah, she used not to.
That's right. She wanted to eat out of Gloria's.
They used to be more jumpier too, so I'm glad they're not as jumpy as they used to be, that's for sure.
Yep.
Like, they were pretty skittish when we first got them, especially Trouble. And now she's the one who comes up to you.
They both
Kinda
do,
funny.
to the point.
Well, she'll come up to you and put her nose on you. You like that Mountain Dew, sir?
I do. I drank a whole 2 liter on the way down.
And some milk.
A whole gallon. It's thirsty.
And the reason for bringing that down was?
To add to the water that's already in here. We did fill these up completely before all this weather hit, so this one was full, the one in the lot's full, this one was full, the big blue one here was full. But of course, with all the cold temperatures, it's been where we have to come out every morning, break up the ice, take out the ice, and then of course over time, it's, you know, with what they're drinking and what we're having to take out because it's frozen, it's been gradually depleting the amount of water down there. We can't fill it up down here at the moment because the water hose is literally frozen. So what we're doing is every time we come down, we just bring some extra hot water bottles. These are like super hot whenever I bring them down. and that is mostly just so we can thaw out the top. So make it a little bit easier to break up the ice. Add to it, of course, it adds gallon and a half, 2 gallons, 4 gallons a day or something like that to what's in here. And we also are able to break up the ice. That's the main reason. It's not to really try to refill it. It's mostly just to break up what's there, which we've already done. And there's still plenty of water in there. Yeah, it's ice water, but there's still plenty of water. They're still able to drink it. They're not having any problems with being able to access that. And that's very important, even when it's cold, that they have access to water.
They still need to drink water like we do.
Absolutely. People think about, animals make sure they got plenty of food, but they can still dehydrate even under these conditions, as they're still peeing, excreting the water out, and you've got to replace that, so make sure you got something available to them. Now, today the temperature got up to about 46 or 47 degrees here, so we got a lot of melting done. There's a lot of melting, and it helped out tremendously, but there's a lot more melting to do before we can really safely get the water hose reconnected and refill these. But I'm hoping tomorrow it's supposed to warm up to about 47 degrees again tomorrow. If all goes well, this will continue to melt. We should be able to run the water hoses over here, flush the lines, make sure that they're still okay, and then refill this container, that container, and then that one inside the lot as well. This is filled full, but it's just full of ice. It's just one big ice cube right now. So unless we just dump it out, if it will, we can do that. But in the meantime, we do what we can do.
And our four-wheel drive vehicle's even stuck in our own driveway. It's so bad here.
So I tried getting the Suburban out, and it did not go well at all. I was able to get through the driveway almost to the gate, and it just wouldn't go any further. And then I started backing up, and it started sliding to one side as I was trying to back it up. And so neighbor came over, tried to help pull me out. He's got a side-by-side, a Razor, and really nice, great tires, good traction. He can go no problems. He hooked up with the tow strap, and I think he was able to get me to pull maybe about a foot, if that, on top of what I had already managed to move. It didn't go well. But thankfully, we don't have to go anywhere tomorrow.
Or next couple of days, because we're stuck.
So, well, I think that tomorrow, a lot of this is going to melt. We had a lot of melting today, which was good. And I see, as we're walking through here, a lot of places where I can see bare ground now. And that's a good sign. So I'm hoping, especially the areas that we're walking through, will get easier to walk back and forth. Because it is, people don't realize, but, where the animals are relative to the house, a little bit of a walk back here to where we're at.
That's why I use a four-wheeler most.
Which is why we use a four-wheeler most of the time. Now, we haven't been able to use it the last couple of days because literally we could not drive the four-wheeler in this. Jonathan's four-wheeler will go in it somewhat. He's got really good traction on the back tires. Alyssa's four-wheeler, we've got to get some new tires for that one. Something that can actually handle these types of conditions. And I think it'll be fine. But Jonathan's will handle on the backside, but his front tires are the problem there. He can't steer, so he can go, but it's almost like a sled at this point. You can't steer it. So, but for right now, we're just walking. Coming down here a few times a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, and then if we come down in the midpoint, check on them. But definitely at least twice. And we're doing that, bringing water here, and it's mostly just to break it up. Of course, like I said, we got a lot of melting done today.
I had my tires breaking it up this morning.
Yeah.
The ice was actually mostly melted and slush.
A
So
lot
that
of
was
it's just
super
slush in
helpful
there
for
right
me,
now.
so I didn't
So
worry
it's,
about it.
all we're doing really is just using this to kind of, like I said, to help out to break up the top. It's not, again, to add a significant amount of water to it, although it does help. It's mostly just so we can get in there and break it up if it needs to be. And if we do that a couple times a day, then it'll help to melt even more. And like I said, with it almost being 50 tomorrow, we'll see a lot of melting. And that should hopefully flush out a lot of that ice. Now, throughout the week this week, I looked for the forecast, supposed to warm up or stay decent throughout the week. I think by Friday, it's supposed to be about 60 if all goes well. I know. So that's the thing about the snow here. As much of an inconvenience as it is, it's not like if we lived up in North Missouri, up around Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, those areas, where you see snow and you don't see the ground again until spring. It's not like that. It's an inconvenience for a few days. It may hang out. You may see some patches for a week, possibly, but it goes away. That's
Especially the shadowy areas that don't get a lot of sunlight,
Yeah.
then they'll have probably some
Sure.
remnants.
They'll linger around, linger. Of course, there's an old saying here in the South that if you actually have it linger for more than a week, that it's actually hanging out until the next snowfall. Don't really believe that one, but I've seen it a couple times. Where you would
I've
get
never heard that.
Yeah, it is. It's an old saying. If you see it hanging out more than 7 days, it's lingering until the next snowfall, expecting the next one. And when you get this much, it's possible. Now, not this coming week, but the following week, there are chances of frozen weather again. As much as I hate to say that, but it's January. And my advice to people, if you have a homestead, is to have a plan. How do you deal with conditions like these? What are you going to do about getting water? For us, we refill these things, if we fill everything up, it can last for weeks.
Yes.
I mean, it's enough water for them under normal conditions for weeks. So we filled this up right before the weather hit, like the day before, made sure everything was topped off completely. Before the cold weather hit, not the snow, just to be clear. Yeah, before the cold weather hit. So we went through and we did all that. Alyssa, Jonathan, they came down here and spent a while getting that done, and it was a good thing. I'll be honest, it was a good thing. Now, another good backup plan would be to have some heaters in these if you can do that.
We don't have those right now.
No, we don't have that. It's not something we can put down here yet. We'll eventually get to the point where we can. We'll have some power down here to where we can hook up some water heaters inside the buckets that will help under these conditions to deal with this. In the meantime, we just have to do it the manual way, which is come out here, bust the ice up, take the ice out, ideally, which of course means
you
you're
can see right
pulling
there, that ice is about to take out there.
You get that?
Right
can
there's
see the
ice I took out. Over there, before the snow really hit, it was just freezing up the water. There's a pile of ice that used to be over there, but you can't see it no longer because the snow covered it.
Right.
But I did take the ice out then too, and I had to because if I would have broken it open and left the ice in there, it just refroze and made it harder for me to bust open the next day. So I had to remove it.
Another good plan, dress warmly. That's nice sunset.
It is really pretty. But yeah, I have gotten the sunset down here a couple times. It's really pretty down here. By Jackson. Are you recording me petting my horse?
Yes.
You want to pet my horse? No, hands off of mine. I love my baby.
You talking about the security lights?
What, in here?
Yeah.
You want me to?
Okay, if you want to.
This little light right here, it looks like a camera, but in actuality, it is actually just a light. So we put this down here. My brother actually installed it. He came down here and he installed it for us. It looks like a camera, but it's not. It's just a light. And it's a solar light, so it charges during the day, so we can have it during the nighttime. My horse absolutely loves it because he'll come over here and turn it on during the night because he likes to be able to see. Like we like to be able to see too, so I can understand. But it's also mostly helpful for us to come down here when it's not like it is right now, when we're feeding the animals like it is. It looks like it's not as dark, but it actually is darker, but the snow kind of helps a little bit with making it look a little brighter on camera. But, however, it does help for us to bring the food down here and actually make sure they got food and water. Or if we have to come down here in the night for some strange reason, we can make sure they're taken care of and they're okay. But it's a great thing to have lights around here because it's actually a good thing to have for security-wise. I mean, if somebody flipped on a light and there was somebody outside, most likely they're going to walk away because they say, oh, there's somebody home. Just like you would with the solar light right here if it turns on. It helps keep the predators away, and it also helps give security for the animals and for us during the nighttime.
Now, we also have, and we don't have them pictured here because I'm not going to show them on here, but we do have cameras that we do position down here. We'll use a combination of security cameras and also trail cameras.
Yes.
so that we are able to keep an eye on things. If something happens in our absence, then we're aware, or we get alerts, or we can check and see things on video and to know what's going on. I've done a video on the Fayad brand security cameras. You can check that one out. We can put a link, or she can put a link, or whoever edits this can put a link to show you how to install those and how they work.
Look at the little notification icon at the top of the screen right here, and you'll see it.
Yep.
And it'll show up right there, and you can just click on there and it sends you right to it, or you can wait to the end of this video. It'll be on the end screen.
So I'm not sponsored by Fayad on their cameras, and I think I'm pronouncing that name correctly. But they're basically a Wi-Fi enabled security camera that has a solar panel attached to it for solar charging. I do recommend the cameras. I recommend having some form of security on your homestead. You can use, again, just regular security cameras that are hardwired. You can use security cameras like we have that are Wi-Fi enabled, that are solar, or you can get just normal trail cameras and position them around your property. The only thing about the trail cameras, of course, is that they always have the ability of someone removing them and taking off with your security camera, with your trail camera. That's the bad part. Whereas the Fayad, you get alerts, it's recording, it's Wi-Fi, it's going to your phone, those types of things. So I recommend having different forms of security on your homestead so that you can know what's going on. But it also is good to have things like this too, because I mean, people see something like this, they're going to think, hey, it's a security camera, and you might not be the wiser, because there are some that look just like that, which really are security cameras, and that's why they look that way. This one just happens to be one that we did pick up off of AliExpress as a test. We did start recording that video. We need to actually get that video complete and edited and put up on YouTube.
I forgot we did that.
We did not. We started doing it. We talked about the cameras, and I think it's a good thing for us to do tomorrow, maybe, to go ahead and try and get that one edited, and then we can talk about different types of security, lights, things of that nature, solar lights. We wanted to test them out, so we wanted to do. Since they were cheap, I wasn't confident and comfortable trying to recommend something we hadn't tried. That's all. I wanted to make sure we had plenty of time to try them, make sure they were good. And so far, we've had really good success.
Good coverage.
It does.
You can see the scope right here, the light that it brightens up through here. And that's pretty good. It even comes a little over through over here in this area, and helps brighten this up area over here. Like I said, when he's over here eating or something, he can see. And we need to get a couple of these other ones down here for Jackson. Trouble and Gloria, so they can be able to see better.
So this one came off of AliExpress. It's basically a lot like Temu. A lot of people are familiar with Temu or Temu, or however they pronounce it. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
So it was only a few dollars, and we picked up, I don't know, maybe 8 what are the solar cameras, or not solar cameras, but solar lights. Thank you.
Like
solar
lights.
different styles. I tried out. We tried out multiple different kinds. I wanted to see how each one was going to do, so we didn't buy multiples of the same kind. We just purchased multiple different types, so we could see. I like that one really good. So far, it's done really well.
It served its
The
purpose.
solar panel on it is not incredibly large, but I've never been down here at night when it wasn't working. If I walked over to it, it would always cut on. Very, very well. So I haven't seen any issues.
In that sense.
Yeah, so it has been. It's in a good vantage point, and there's plenty of sun throughout the day to charge it, so that's not a problem. I would like to pick up about 4 or 5 more of those to put around here, especially, just so whenever we are coming down here, we'll be able to see really well. On top of the other cameras that we have too. Other security measures. So, all right, I think that's enough for right now. It's cold and it's getting dark.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video as we walk through the treacherous snow and also this other stuff, seeing the animals. Let's talk about solar lights and the other tips we have. If you like content like this, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and always leave a comment down in the comment section below. Let us know if you guys enjoy this content and if you have any suggestions or things that y'all have liked and what y'all maybe have done during this time to survive the winter time. And as always, have a God bless day.